most of the members, most of the kitchen shops I know have all increased their turnover with double figures. So that's fantastic. One of the biggest challenges is that nobody has expected that the market was growing that fast, and therefore most of the appliance suppliers couldn't supply their appliances well, because nobody had thought that there was a 20 or 30% plus in the markets. Because of the growth, but also because of the long time delivery times, nobody had the right chips in their appliances. That makes an extra problem for getting the kitchens complete. One other challenge is, of course, that if you grow that fast and the kitchen industry can't deliver the promised kitchen on time, then you as a kitchen shop holder has a big problem with your cash flow. And that is another challenge. In England, the main problem was when they go out of the European Union, the main challenge they had was, how do I get my appliances or worktop, sinks, kitchen on time in my storage? So that was actually another struggle for the UK kitchen industry. But I think most of them have solved that problem by ordering as much as possible. But then the next problem is you can order as much as possible and maybe you get the goods also, but then you have to pay them, and then you have struggling again with your cash flow. In every country, so also in the UK, it's a big issue for your cash flow. That was the main problem for most of the kitchen shop owners. One of the most important thing is that MHK is taking over the invoices by our suppliers. So that means that we pay the supplier, and the member only pay us after 30 days. In that time, you can complete the kitchen. Most of the time, you can complete the kitchen. Absolutely, because most of the appliance suppliers already announced that the problem will be going on to up to the second quarter. So that means up to June, July, we have to fight against the same problems. It is because of, again, the big growth. Week of January, there's still a big growth. And second of all is because there's still a small average of chips. Let's say chips is the new gold at the moment. It will be the challenge for 2022, that how do you can sell your kitchen. Maybe you also can sell it completely, but how do you install it? And that's what you see on LinkedIn, that's what you see on Twitter, that's what you see in most of the advertising, desperate looking for designers, but also for fitters. And on MHK at the moment, we have in several countries, we have our own installation people. So in Germany, where we are based as a European headquarter, we have 150 own fitters. And that's what we now start up in Holland. And we try to find that also in all other countries, like in Austria, but also in England. So what we are looking is our own logistic partner with installers. In Germany, as an example, we have 2 own logistic centers. So what we are doing with that logistic center is we get the kitchen, we check it, we see if it is completed, and then we make the appointment with the consumer, and we bring in our 2 own installers with own cars. So you can see it is MHK people who install your kitchen. We have 2 big logistics centers, one in the neighborhood of Frankfurt, one in the neighborhood of Köln, and in total we have 150 own fitters. So that will be our main project for 2022 and 2023, to get as much as fitters as we can do. It's not only fitters which we find because they are already fitters, but we have our own, let's say, school to teach them how to fit a kitchen. And every week we have 25 people who are starting at the moment, who are starting the lessons of how to fit a kitchen. At the moment, we have more than 1,100 students working in a kitchen shop, or working by the logistics center, or trying to start the position of a fitter. That will be for the next couple of years a very, very interesting part for everybody who want to join a group like MHK. Last 20 years, there was never ever been this much growth in the industry as we saw in 2021. So that's once in a lifetime. Of course, the turnover will maybe grow, but that's not because there will be sold more kitchen, but that is because a lot of suppliers have increased the prices heavily, up to 8 or 9%. The secret is then to sell kitchen with more margin or a higher price. And that is something which everybody has to be aware right now, today, because this will be changing quite quickly. If you are an independent retailer and you sell a kitchen, but you also have to measure it, so you have to visit your customer and you have to do it all by yourself, then the maximum is 50 kitchens a year. So that's more or less in every country the same. But if you have someone working the kitchen out for you, so you're talking with the customer, then you give that to another, and the other is going to measure or fill the kitchen in for the consumer at the end, then you can sell up to 100. So if you take a new designer to make profit, or at least that you're on a cost level, he also has to sell 50 kitchens. What's happening when the market is going down? Do I still make profit, making margin, making profit? And this will be the main challenge for most of the kitchen industry. I think that 50% of the kitchen showrooms don't know exactly how much they have to sell or how much margin they have to make, only to bring the cost in. I thought you will ask that. Business planning, know your cost and margin. Yeah, do you have a plan of where you want to be on paper or in your head? You know, the second thing is cash flow is king. Why use your own money if it is not always necessary? Because if you have a credit line or payment terms of 30 days, in the 30 days, the customer has to pay you. So you have your cash flow going around, so you don't have to use your own money. Buy products well. And what I mean with buy products well is that you have to understand how a series of small savings can add up to something substantial. If you sell a product and you only sell that product, then you have also a kind of loyalty by your supplier, and loyalty always comes with a reward. What makes customers buy from you? Why should the customer come in your shop, and why are you the one who has to sell the kitchen to their customer? That is why we're thinking that you have to sell a lifestyle, and your credibility will be still a good year, but not a super year. Everybody has to be aware and think positive.